Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and I've got a little bit of news that the Transform Races creator has been now put into the game. It has been activated, so you can go into GTA Online and create your own Transform Races. We're going to be taking a bit of a look at it in this video. It's only been a good 3 months since it was actually added to the game. The Smuggler's Run update, which is when this Transform Races creator was first added to the game, when we downloaded that update, was released on the 29th of August, and here we are on the 28th of November. Only a short 13 weeks after we actually got the DLC, we've finally been allowed to use it. The laser is also purchasable today as well. It has been made purchasable for just a small $6.5 million. So if you want to go out and spend $6.5 million on something that you've been able to get freely from Ford Sancudo since the start of the game, feel free. But the most important thing about this is the Transform Races creator, which is something that we're going to take a look at in this video, and I'm just going to do a little bit of a live commentary over it whilst we go through it and check things out. So I'll load up a save job because it's kind of just the standard thing that I do, just load up a job and then see what has changed, what may be different, what new things that we have. I'll also check out creating a plane race as well, because I believe there's various different things here. You can see that this was something that I used the last time we had an update. I just put this down and that was pretty much it. But let's check the race details first. Let's see if there's anything majorly different here. So this is all the same. Starting grid sizes, all the same. Available vehicles. This looks to be the same. Special is the same, yeah, nothing extra here. Okay, so nothing changing, in the behind the scenes of things so far. Weather, I wonder if, probably not. We still can't use weather in stunt races, so I don't even know why that's an option. So annoying. This is all the same. Traffic off, one of the best new things that we got was the ability to turn off pedestrians in the last update. You can set the text for the blimp. Change race type. Okay, that's new. Oh, there we go. Change race to a transform race. Change race to a special vehicle race. So you're going to have to actually go into it to be able to turn it into a transform race. Can we use any new props without being in the transform race? Okay, so we do have air tubes. Air tubes, yeah, all sorts of different types of air tubes. And it looks like you can still use, these are big. These are huge. It looks like you can still use these in regular races. So you don't need to make it a transform race to be able to use these new props. The neon tubes are things that we've had before. Stunt checkpoint rings, so air checkpoints we've got as well. Wow, look at that. Okay, so I'm guessing these are, I wonder how these will work. It'll be interesting to see what people create with all of this. Obviously the most important thing about this is the fact that we have it available for all the talented creators that are in this community to use it. And obviously we'll be starting back up with the content creator series, and I'll refresh the submissions for that as well, so people can resubmit things for that. And that's going to be interesting to see what people really do with it, more so than the actual functionality. But it's interesting to go through and see what we've got that's different. So we've got air gates with different, so I mean there's a lot more focus on air races now, obviously with the Transform creator as well, being an integral part of this new update. Planes are going to be more of a thing with these transform races. Obviously, for us in the racing community, transform races basically just mean that we can actually use the transform functionality to have proper multi-class races, so sports and supercars together, muscle cars in there as well, things like that. But for the wider community, obviously, you're going to see much better creations in terms of transform races that are going to be much more creative and more interesting to use than what we've seen from Rockstar, because that's how it always goes. These, I believe, are no good for Apex props, by the way, because they can break. But there's a lot. Of course. Of course. There's a lot of interesting designs on these as well, which is good to see. You know, they are very race oriented. It's kind of harking back to the sort of the Red Bull Air Race type stuff, which is good. So we got building blocks, we got some ramps. I guess I haven't looked at these properly myself, but anything that I've missed, obviously feel free to let me know. Oh yeah, we've got all these new arrows now, which you've seen. We've seen those in the stunt races a few times. Yeah, interesting. I wonder if that's. I guess the checkpoints aren't enough these days. Oh, we got there's the runway. So if I guess the best thing with this is going to be to, you know, that's where planes can start now. You don't have to just start them in the air like air races used to be. Interesting. Heados, tire hoops, yeah, that's pretty much the same. Speed boosts, public address system, yeah, it's nothing really any different with that either. Alright, so that pretty much seems to cover it, I believe, for the new props. Alright, so let's switch it to a transform race. Where we at? And see how things may change. Yes, let's change it. Alright, so we are now a transform race. Transform vehicle list. Okay, so it looks like that's the only thing that has changed here. What does it say for available vehicles? That's the same. Default class is all the same. Okay, so wait, let's maximum players. No, really? Transform races have a maximum players of 16. That ruins everything. I can't believe it. That means those big multi-class races that we want to do in the racing community are going to actually be 16-player races instead, which just takes most of the fun out of it. I can't believe they've decided to do that. That makes no sense. The stunt races that have been crazy creations, the regular races that we have in the game, the special vehicle races, all of them 30 players. Yet they've limited transform races to 16 players. Changing the starting grid does absolutely nothing to change that. Wow, that is such a huge disappointment. That is a huge disappointment. Rockstar, really? Oh well. Transform vehicle list. Add new transform. Okay, let's see what we've got. Category. So we got compacts. So we got the Brioso, Panto, Rhapsody, Issy. So we got all the standard compacts, coupes. There are a few that look to be missing from these lists, but the main ones seem to be here. Yeah, they're definitely not the full lists, I think, for some of these anyway. But most cars appear to be available. Sports Classics. So, I mean, I'm interested more in the different military. So you got the Rhino tank, half track, APC, Insurgent. This would make testing a lot easier. The testing videos will be returning, obviously, as soon as I get caught up with things. So the Insurgent pickup, Titan. You can get a Titan in a transform race now. Army Cargo Bob, Barracks, Semi Barracks. So we can just pop this down. Oh, okay. So you add a vehicle first. Okay, so it's not necessarily. Alright, so we got a lot of police vehicles as well, service vehicles, industrial vehicles. Basically, all the vehicles that are available in the game, we can use in transform races now via the transform checkpoints. You know, even the Benson for vans, Boxvilles, things like that you can't even get normally in van races. The Stockade, trucks. So that means that, you know, races can be a lot more versatile in the vehicles that you can have with them. Obviously, you can see in the bottom right there, you can have up to 10 different vehicles in a transform race. Jets, pretty much the same. Now you can even get, you know, on foot as well. And special vehicles, the Vigilante, the Oppressor, Wastelander. So, I mean, every single vehicle almost appears to be available for these transform checkpoints. Let's see how it actually works when you put down a checkpoint. Place checkpoint. Alright, so we got type primary, secondary, functionality, regular, or transform. Okay, so that style. So you can even have circular or regular. Okay, so then we got a transform checkpoint. Transform vehicle can either be the lobby vehicle, so the vehicle that you start the race with, the Rhino tank, or the Dilettante, which is the two that I added, or you can add a new transform vehicle directly from this menu as well. So then you put Rhino tank down, and that checkpoint then becomes something that would transform you into a tank. So if we were loading this race, for example, in a multi-class event, say, everybody would start on the grid, drive over to this checkpoint, switch into a tank, or half the people, whoever was doing it, go back to the grid, and then we'd start the race. And that's how multi-class races will be able to work with this new functionality. We'll be able to, you know, have a checkpoint off to the side that has sports cars, and then we start up a race with, I don't know, muscle, coupes, supers. Half the field go and get their sports car, go back to the grid, and then we start the race. And obviously you can imagine the various different different combinations of things we can have with that. But it is such a shame that we can't do anything about 16 players. It's absolutely unbelievable that they've made it 16 players only. All the great functionality that this has given us in the racing community, at least, to be able to make incredible multi-class races that we've never had before and that we've always wanted. Now, I mean, 16 players, yeah, we can get a race done, certainly. It's just not going to be as good. So still no ability, it seems, to get rid of props. That it actually is in the game. That is in the dev creator. That is in the dev creator, which is basically the creator that that it's got lots of functionality that we don't have. So those who mod the game on PC have been able to delete various props in the world, and it's just so frustrating that we're not getting that ability to delete lampposts and things, because it would make such a huge difference. And I think that seems to be about it. Obviously the checkpoints with the transform races, everything else seems to be pretty much the same, so not an awful lot of difference really. That all it is that you switch it to a transform race instead of a regular stunt race, and you can put transform checkpoints on, and that's pretty much it. And it's exciting to see what people will be able to do with this. I was kind of hoping that we'd get a little bit more functionality that has been in the dev creator for a while, like the ability to delete lampposts. That's a huge thing. And it's so frustrating, the fact that it's already in the game, but I just can't get over how they've already removed weather from stunt races. I think that was to get the aggregate position thing on the menu, so they removed weather, so we can't have rain in stunt races anymore, but at least we can still have 30 player races. But even now, if we ever want to do a proper multi-class race, it is limited to 16 players, so really that's 2 GTs of 8 players each, whereas before we would have 3 GTs of 9 players each, 3 different types of car all racing at the same time. So massive disappointment, really. Actually, hopefully Rockstar do something and change that and make 30 players available. But yeah, well, there you go. That is the Transform Race Creator. Have at it. For those of you who are budding creators, if you've got a lot of money, you can go buy the laser for $6.5 million, and that's pretty much it. So hope you enjoyed the quick little overview of everything. Thank you guys for all the support as always. Thanks for watching. Let me know down below what you think about the creator itself and all that kind of stuff. Thanks for watching, everybody. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.